Okay, here we go. So we get an interesting story from Ken Rosenthal on The Athletic over the last few days, saying the Red Sox have been getting phone calls about Masataka Yoshida for a possible trade. But he goes on to say the Red Sox are not actively shopping him, but they're open to all ideas. Before I get to the actual trade part of everything, let's go talk about Masataka Yoshida's numbers last year. A pretty solid season in his first season in Major League Baseball after coming over from Japan. Hit 289, a 338 on base, a 445 slugging, a 109 WRC plus, 15 homers. However, his defense was pretty bad last season, bringing his F4 down to 0.6. Now, you got the Green Monster at Fenway Park, you got the nooks and crannies there, so it's going to be a little different with the defensive metrics, but overall, it was pretty below average. I personally see Masataka Yoshida being more of a DH while also playing some outfield here and there, mainly left field. So with Yoshida, he does have better numbers projected for next year, hitting 291, a 361 on base, a 460 slugging, a 120 WRC plus, 17 homers, a 1.9 Fangraph WAR, which is definitely an improvement over this past year. I do think he's going to have a good season at the plate next year. Now, why would the Red Sox trade Masataka Yoshida? Why would they even listen to phone calls? Well, the big reason is the Red Sox, they're trying to keep the payroll down this year. Last year, they had a reported budget of $225 million, which was a little bit below the CBT. So I would imagine for this year, you're probably going to be around maybe that 225, maybe the 230, still staying under that CBT. So according to Red Sox payrolls on Twitter, they have a reported payroll as of right now around 201 million. Now, the CBT is 237 for this year, and if the Red Sox want to keep it around 230, you're probably looking at around a little less than $30 million right now, and the Red Sox really need to add pitching, and they also need a right-handed bat. And interestingly enough, the Red Sox, according to Hector Gomez, have come out as the front runner for Jorge Soler, who I think should be more of a DH. I think you got to keep that guy out of the outfield, maybe play a little bit here and there, maybe a couple games, but mostly a DH. So if Masataka Yoshida is going to be more of a DH this coming year, I think there's an argument to where the Red Sox, they need a right-handed power-hitting bat for the middle of the order, and I think Jorge Soler arguably could fit better in this Red Sox lineup than Yoshida as of right now. I'm not saying Soler is, the better player than Yoshida. I could see some people out there saying that, but I think right now you could make the argument Soler is simply a better fit than Yoshida. So I could see the Red Sox maybe being creative and looking into, possible trade scenarios out there. So in this video, I'm going to go over a few possibilities, maybe put Yoshida in some other lineups. So let's go take a look. Before I get to the trades, I just want to go over Yoshida's trade value first. On baseballtradevalues.com, you're looking at around a median value of $3 million. It could go as low as 2.5, all the way up to $4 million. You might be thinking, why is this so low? Well, when you take a look at Yoshida's numbers from last year, decent numbers at the plate, but the bad defense brings it down. And then you subtract his salary of $18 million per year. He's on a 5-year, $90 million deal. It's spitting out right around maybe anywhere from $3 to $4 million. Now, the Red Sox could attach cash to this. They could pay a little bit of his salary over the next 4 years. Let's say they pay $3 million per season. That would be a total of $12 million. So that could increase the value that they could get in return, which, could end up being a couple of decent players, maybe a prospect in there as well. So let's get to the trades. How about a trade with the LA Angels? The Angels did just lose Shohei Ohtani, so you could just replace him with another really good hitter from Japan in Yoshida. Now, Yoshida is not Ohtani, obviously, but Yoshida, he's going to be a patient hitter at the plate. He's projected for better numbers in year 2. I think that could be a really nice fit for the lineup. You got Brandon Drury at DH as of right now, but with Drury, he's very versatile. He can play other positions. He can move around. Don't see him having a hard time getting into the lineup every single day, while Yoshida is more of the DH, can go out there and play some left field some days. I think that would be a really nice fit. Now, for the Red Sox, what could they use in return? Well, they really could use some starting pitching. Maybe they could get another, good bullpen piece. Maybe a right-handed hitter for the lineup if they come up empty on Jorge Soler. Maybe simply just get some prospects in there. Maybe a mix of both. Now, again, like I mentioned with Yoshida, if you attach some cash, you definitely could get some value in return. So the first idea I came up with in a trade with the Angels is Yoshida and cash to the Angels, and going back to the Red Sox would be Chase Silseth. He did miss some time last year, but he showed some promise at times. I think he would be a nice addition for the back end of the rotation. Maybe you could even get a bit more creative. Now, the Red Sox have also put Kenley Jansen on the trade block as of late, trying to clear his salary as well. Maybe you can clear a whole bunch of salary, maybe attach a bit of cash to the both of them. I think the Angels with Kenley Jansen, that would improve their bullpen, keep them competitive in the AL West, and in return, the Red Sox, they still get Silseth, but maybe they could also get Ben Joyce in return as well. Fireballer is still lacking the command and the control. I'm sure Angels fans will hate this one all over the place, but maybe you could do something there. If not Ben Joyce, maybe attach another prospect in there as well. But I think Kenley Jansen could be a fit for the Angels here too. Maybe you could get really creative here, and maybe you can go get a better starting pitcher for the rotation if you're the Red Sox. Why not Patrick Sandoval? He's definitely got a lot of value, but I think this is a guy, a lefty, that could bring some good stability to this rotation for the Red Sox. So again, Jansen, Yoshida, but maybe they could also attach a good prospect in Nick York. Hey, California kid going back to Cali, give him a home there. That would be a good bat for the Angels system. Attach some cash here as well, and maybe you could work something out. But I think the Angels could be a pretty nice fit for Yoshida and even Kenley Jansen. How about a trade with the San Francisco Giants? They've had problems in the past luring good free agents to come play for their team, so why not go make a trade for a good hitter in Masataka Yoshida? He'd be on the West Coast, closer to Japan, and Jock Peterson is probably heading elsewhere this offseason, so they could use another left-handed bat to replace him. I think Yoshida could be a good fit with the Giants, especially with good projections for year 2. Now, you'd have to figure out what to do with Wilmer Flores. He's at the DH spot right now. Could you move him somewhere? But then what do you do with Lamont Wade Jr., Tyler Estrada? So they'd have to figure that out. But I think Yoshida, a good patient bat, I think would be a really nice fit for this lineup. But then I'm also thinking too, the Red Sox, they could use some pitching. And the Giants did just acquire Robbie Ray in a trade with the Mariners. Now, he's probably going to be back until around the All-Star break, but there was a report not too long ago that if the Giants added a veteran starter, they would be, or could be, willing to deal some young pitching. And hey, I think the Red Sox could be a pretty good fit there. So the trade that I came up with is Yoshida and cash going to the Giants, and in return, the Red Sox get a young starter in Keaton Winn. Has some pretty good stuff. Still needs to get his footing in the major leagues. He just came up last year. Overall, some okay numbers, but he has a good fastball, has a really good splitter. I think Keaton Winn could be someone for the Red Sox to get back. And then they also get back Carson Whisenhunt. He is their number 3 prospect as of right now. It feels like the Red Sox never have any good pitching prospects, so maybe this is someone that they could get back in return. I can see Giants fans probably hating this one, but it is a possible idea. If not Whisenhunt, maybe you could put in a different pitching prospect. I think these two teams could be a good fit for each other. How about a trade with Craig Breslow's old team, the Chicago Cubs? Maybe Craig picks up the phone, calls his old friends in Chicago, says, hey, I'm trying to move Yoshida's contract here. Can you guys help me out? I think there could be a pretty fun fit here. Now, the Cubs could definitely still get back Cody Bellinger, but let's say he goes elsewhere, or maybe the Cubs think, he's a little too expensive for us. Yoshida could be a cheaper alternative. As of right now, Christopher Morel is projected for the DH spot, but you could move him out to the outfield, and then you'd have Yoshida as your DH, and think how fun it would be to have Suzuki and Yoshida in the same lineup. I think that could make a lot of sense. And the Cubs do have some pitching. Craig Breslow obviously knows the Cubs system when it comes to their pitching, and maybe he could find something there that he likes. So the trade that I came up with is Yoshida and $20 million of cash, $5 million per season, going to the Cubs and going back to the Red Sox. We got Hayden Wesneski and pitching prospect Ben Brown. Wesneski is an interesting one. Now, a couple of years ago, he did pretty well in a small sample size at 2.18 ERA. Not a whole lot of velocity, but he's got some good breaking stuff. But last year, he ran into some issues, had some ups and downs. He was in and out of the rotation, but only 26 years old. Maybe there could be something there. Maybe work with Angel Andrew Bailey, and maybe we could get something going with Hayden Wesneski. I think there's definitely some potential there still. And then you also get a pretty good pitching prospect in Ben Brown. As of right now, the number 5 prospect, big fastball, big curveball, big slider. Still lacks a little bit of control, but he's a big dude. Craig Breslow, I could see Craig Breslow loving Ben Brown. I'm thinking when he left Chicago, he was probably hating the fact that he wasn't going to have Ben Brown in his system anymore, but maybe he can bring him over to Chicago. I think this could be a pretty fun trade for both sides. With the Padres trading Juan Soto to the Yankees, maybe they could go after a cheaper bat in Yoshida. Now, Manny Machado is going to open the year as the DH. He got elbow surgery at the end of last year, but he should be back to playing third base at some point. At the beginning of the year, you can have Yoshida be the left fielder. Once Machado is ready to go back to third base, Yoshida can slide right into that role. Now, I think Yoshida would be a nice fit for the Padres because he follows what they like to do, and that's being patient at the plate and not chasing very much. If we actually take a look at the outside swing percentage leaderboards last year, the Padres were number 1, and Yoshida doesn't chase all that much. A very patient hitter at the plate. And he also ties in with what they're trying to do payroll-wise. If we take a look at the Padres' payroll, according to Fangraphs right now, it's estimated at around $156 million. Now, there was a report not too long ago. The Padres prefer to stay under $200 million. So you could take Yoshida, maybe the Red Sox even pay a little bit of the contract, and hey, that would fit very nicely into the Padres' payroll while still getting a pretty solid hitter. For the Red Sox in this deal, they get a couple of pieces. They get a prospect in Dylan Head, as well as a reliever in Tom Cosgrove. If the Red Sox were to trade away Kenley Jansen, this could be a way to bring in a cheaper reliever in Cosgrove, who had a really solid season with the Padres last year, and they'd be getting a prospect in Dylan Head. As of right now, he is the number 9 prospect, according to Pipeline, in their system. Still very far away, 19 years old. Good hit tool at 55, but super athletic with an 80 run. I don't think Padres fans would want to give him up. If not him, maybe you could swap him out with another piece or maybe a couple other pieces. But most of all, the Red Sox, they get to clear some payroll here. And then obviously for the Padres, they get Yoshida, some cash. I think this would be a really solid fit for both sides. And last but not least, how about a trade with the Miami Marlins? I think this could be a pretty fun fit for both sides. I got a few different ideas here, so let's get to them. So as of right now, Avisail Garcia is projected as the DH for the Marlins. We all know what's been going on with Avisail Garcia. It's one of the worst contracts in the game right now. He has completely fallen off a cliff. So yeah, you could definitely use an upgrade there. Yoshida would definitely be an upgrade for the Marlins. Again, a patient hitter, doesn't strike out all that much. He would be nice for the Marlins lineup, who are still trying to compete at this point. But we all know with the Marlins, they got pitching. And one guy that's in this rotation is Edward Cabrera. Now, with Edward Cabrera, with him, you're going to be seeing some good stuff, good velocity. The problem with Cabrera is he walks a lot of hitters, so he hasn't really fully found his way, but he's 25 years old. He had some okay numbers last year, a 4.24 ERA, FIP a little higher at 4.43. But again, good fastball, has good stuff. Maybe Craig Breslow would like to add an arm like this. So in this trade, very simple. We just have a swap here. We got Yoshida going to the Marlins with some cash, $4 million per year. And then the Red Sox get a young, cost-controlled arm in Edward Cabrera. But why stop there? Let's go with a few different ideas. Let's say the Red Sox, they're looking at this Marlins rotation. They're looking for more, and they see Jesus Luzardo. The Red Sox really need a number 1 at the top of that rotation. I think Jesus Luzardo would be a perfect fit after that great season he had last year with the Marlins. So here's the first idea that I have. So for the Marlins, they get Yoshida, $4 million per year, $16 million total. And they also get Jarren Duran, a major league ready hitter who can slide into their outfield. And then Nick York, who's basically blocked in the Red Sox system as of right now. Got Vaughn Grissom there now, so Nick York basically has nowhere to go. He'd be better off with the Marlins at this point. But let's say the Marlins, they're like, we don't really like this package very much. We want something different. Okay, well, we got some other ideas here. How about a package with Luzardo going back to the Red Sox and then Yoshida and cash with Nick York, with Ceddanne Rafaela, who's been connected to the Marlins in trade rumors before, along with a possible superstar down the road in Miguel Blaze. I think this could be a pretty fun trade, but maybe the Marlins are thinking, I don't know, Miguel Blaze, he's pretty far away. We like York, we like Rafaela, but I don't know. I think we could do a little better than this. Well, maybe we could do something along the lines of this. I know Red Sox fans are going to absolutely hate this one, but maybe the Marlins are like, all right, if you want Luzardo, you're going to have to give us Marcelo Meyer along with Nick York, Yoshida, and some cash. I could see Red Sox fans just hating this one, but hey, sometimes there comes a time where if you want something good, you gotta give up something good. I'm just saying. Or maybe you can get very creative at this point. And I know I mentioned Avisail Garcia earlier. He's pretty much a lost cause at this point. But maybe we could get creative with Avisail Garcia. Maybe we could do a deal where Jesus Luzardo goes to the Red Sox, but if you want Luzardo, you're going to have to take Garcia. We'll pay half of that salary each year, so the Marlins end up paying $6 million per year, $12 million total. And then going back to the Marlins, you got Yoshida, you got Blaze, Rafaela, Nick York. Maybe the Marlins, maybe they would like this package if, say, the Red Sox took Avisail Garcia off of their books for the next couple of years. And with Garcia, yeah, lost cause, but maybe if you put him in a platoon out in right field with Wilyer Abreu, maybe that could end up working out. If you take a look at the splits with Avisail Garcia in his career, against lefties, he has a 116 WRC+. So maybe the Red Sox could do something with him. I don't know. Either way, there's a whole ton of options here with the Miami Marlins. I think they could be a really fun fit, but what do I know? But we'll have to wait and see what ends up happening with Masataka Yoshida. So let me know in the comments. What do you think of these trades? How would you rework some of these trades? Tell me some of your own trades. Do you even think Yoshida gets traded? Tell me what you think the Red Sox end up doing. I'm very interested to see what you all put in the comments. But that's all I have for right now, everyone. If you can on the way out, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll talk to you next time.